but most of them are like,
Dude,
House of Cards.
If you want a show that you need to check out, it's on USA, and you can actually watch it on. I think you can watch it on Sling, maybe not. Yeah, you can watch it on Sling. It's Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot.
Oh yeah, it's an amazing movie.
An
amazing
TV show. You have not seen it?
No.
Brogan, it's gonna mind fuck the shit out of you, but it's an awesome show.
Wonderful.
Literally.
It's going to blow your mind how cool it is. And
I love the Pixies piano that they bring in the end. It was just amazing. I don't want to spoil anything, but
yeah, well, I don't want to.
The piano Pixies that they brought in at the end.
Just the very first couple minutes into the show, it throws you into a loop, and it throws you into an actual scenario and situation, and it's like, holy shit,
this is very modern,
and it's like this shit could actually fucking happen. So
my God.
So it's really cool. It's just it's basically this guy who during the day he works at this office that basically supplies defensive malware against any intrusions on any major company. So if anyone wants to hack into something, he stops that from happening. His company does. And so then by night he's a hacker and he's hacking into shit and stuff like that. But that's all I'm going to leave you with. But he basically takes his hacking to a superhero level.
Yeah, it's awesome. Very good.
Do you guys watch Man in the High Castle?
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Show is nuts.
Wow, do you watch that?
I've never heard of it.
Do you know? Even know you've never heard? Do you know? You don't know what it's about?
It's based off a book.
Oh, you want to? Yeah, lay it on him.
But not entirely.
Philip K. Dick.
Philip K. Dick. Man, Dick is great when you read books.
What else has he done?
I don't really know.
I'm going to look up other stories. While you explain the story to him, Blev.
So
I'm going to look up other things Philip K. Dick has done.
So, World War II. You know how we won World War II, right? Obviously, the United States. Not we, but we actually, Russia won the war for us, but no one actually wants to admit that. So that's another conspiracy thing we can talk about later. But, so basically the premise is, Japan and the Nazis actually defeat the United States and Russia.
So it's all histories.
What's
like
all
alternative history?
So basically it's another dimension, basically.
I'm going to chime in real quick and just let you know other movies that have been made based off of Philip K. Dick stories. You got Blade Runner.
I was bored with that movie.
Minority Report. Minority Report's dope.
Yeah,
that's
a good show or movie.
Good show.
I'm getting those mixed up every time.
Total Recall, which is a great Arnold movie.
The original Total Recall.
Yeah, the reboot stunk.
Reboot sucks.
It gets real crappy real quick. Paycheck with Ben Affleck.
Paycheck, and I see Next really on there. Movie. You're going even worse.
Yeah, okay. Forget the rest of those. A lot of those.
You are not selling this guy very well.
His name's Philip P. Dick.
Philip K. Dick.
K. Dick. Okay. K. Dick. No, so the premise is the Nazis win, and so does Japan, obviously, because they're allies. And so they basically split up the United States in two sections. The Japanese basically take over the San Francisco area, and the Nazis take off a huge portion of the East Coast, moving into more of the central part of the United States. So then there's this buffer zone between the two that people can run around and do their own thing with. And so basically with that, it's how do people coexist in those two different environments, and how do they basically live their lives? And there's uprising happening all around because people that were part of the United States and the Army want to get out of the situation and don't want to be basically forced into these lifestyles of a Japanese lifestyle or the Third Reich, which is they're both crazy as shit, but it's just interesting how people live their lives through these things and try to figure out how to get through these situations that are happening.
I would also say too, without spoiling anything, there's some
I didn't want to go. I did not want to go any deeper.
There's some really cool sci-fi elements that take place when you kind of you think you know what's going on in the show, and then all of a sudden they throw this curveball at you. That's really neat.
They're chunking the whole sink at you basically because it's you wouldn't expect it. Just like Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot's the same premise.
I have sort of a weird segue from that.
From a sink?
No, from sort of a weird segue from Man in the High Castle to a game that's coming out that I'm really, really excited for, Prey.
Prey?
Prey. Do you remember the original Prey that came out for, I think it was Xbox 360, it came out.
Was it 360 or was it Xbox?
It was 360, yeah, because I remember it was the first HD game that I played, and I remember thinking oh my god, nothing's ever going to look better than Prey, it's in HD,
I don't remember the
720p. Yeah. 720i.
720i
back in the day.
Is that even high def?
Yeah, it's higher than 4.
That was a great game, though. That was a great game.
So, okay.
I've not played the original.
They've got a new one coming out that's essentially rebooting the series. I'm sure there'll be some kind of ties to the original. But listen to this story.
Are you Indian in this? They had an Indian culture kind of thing going on.
That I don't know. But this is what I know of this story so far. So essentially it's set in the future, sort of the same idea with an alt timeline where JFK does not get assassinated.
Get
and
the fuck out.
instead, he ends up like teaming up with the Russians to improve a space program to the point where we go and colonize new planets together, the USSR and the US, and we colonize this planet. I can't remember the name of the planet, somewhere out there, and on this planet there's like this hostile alien life form that are shifters. They essentially like take the shape of things. So I was reading an article where someone had played the demo recently, and in the demo, you're in this room, and you could look at a lamp or something and turn back around, and the lamp had moved, and like that's actually the enemy that you have to kill, and it like slowly stalks you and tries to get you. And the developers have totally randomized these events. So even in the demo, the developers are like, I have no idea which object in here is the bad guy. It's totally random. Wow. Every playthrough, you play this game through, they're going to be different. It's going to be taking different forms. It's going to be taking different shapes. You're not going to know what it is. You're not going to know what's hunting you, anything like that. Anyways,
but a big focus of the original game was like
gravity,
more of a gravity
distortion.
thing. Like you're walking up a wall, but to you, from your perspective, you're walking normal, but everybody's watching you walk up.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to be
like portals kind of thing too going on.
It doesn't seem to be.
This
part
game
of it.
sounds so fucking trippy.
Yeah,
I know.
exactly what it is.
I know.
Keep talking
Just
about it.
imagine playing any game
crazy.
on drugs and you got it.
And so the other portion of it, I believe, is that we're able to harvest these resources from these life forms, like these shape-shifting resources, and I think like some of them have other abilities that are similar but a little bit different, and like sort of Bioshock style, inject them into humans and make them able to do it. And so your character has upgrades, and they haven't really dove into that in any of the demos yet, but like essentially you'll be able to shift, you'll be able to do the same things these aliens are going to do. It seems really cool, and again, like
we'll see if they tank like the last one. It sounds exciting, but like the last one was really good, and then it died, and I don't understand why.
But it goes back to, in my opinion, like the coolest thing about good single player experiences in video games are all about world building. It's all about, can you take a world that I want to come revisit over and over again, and I'm sad when I'm done with my 9 hours playing the campaign or whatever it is, 9 hours to, if it's an RPG, like 40, 50 hours. Like once I get done with it, I want to like feel like, damn, I can't believe that's already over. You know what I mean?
I would say, so pertaining to that, so like when I play like the first Modern Warfare, when you play not the multiplayer, but the single player for that, you get so sucked in the game, and you're like, you don't want your guy to die or whatever, or like or anybody else on your team to die, and then people just start dropping like flies in that game. There was like, what is going on? And then so having that same draw and attraction to like an actual character that you're playing as in the game is really cool.
Actually, I think that for some reason that reminds me of an old game. Do you remember? Did any of you guys ever play the original Rainbow Six?
Yes,
for PC, where you had like a giant roster. You had like maybe 46 people from all these different countries that you could go, and like you had to really plan a mission. You had to like sit down and say, "Here's the mission."
You select your team,
and if your team died, they're dead. Like the rest of the campaign, you have to like replace them with somebody else, and their skill set's not accessible anymore. Like that permadeath thing in games is like, I think that's such a cool idea.
Have you played the newest one, Siege?
No,
I've played it.
Yeah, I've heard it's really fun.
It's really fun when you play with like a
it's
team
very
of
big
people.
in esports too.
Yeah, I would say it's really big team-based game. Mm-hmm. So just like Overwatch is like that. You can't win that game without a team.
How are you guys at Overwatch? Are you decent? Do you
I honestly I've not played the game, but my friends talk about it all the time. They play PC and stuff, and then it's like you can't go in the game and just win it like you could in Call of Duty by yourself. It's team based, it's strategy based.
I appreciate so much the strategy aspects of it. I appreciate so much like it's not all about just running around and killing people. Like we've talked about it a lot, but I'm really bad at Call of Duty. Like I get so bad. Like I'm talking. Like in a match, I did pretty well if I got 9 kills and died 18 times, like a 0.5, really horrible. And I feel like with games like Overwatch, where it's like it's not just about kill death ratio.
It's like Battlefield too. Battlefield's the same way.
Yeah, you play a role. So in Overwatch,
like you're a medic.
Yeah,
I don't even know what I like
tank.
I don't even know what I like about Overwatch because I didn't care for Team Fortress.
Yeah. I think Overwatch is different though because Team Fortress is like. Too like a side of like they want to be realistic but a cartoony, and it's like Overwatch is cartoony. You know it's cartoony because like they got a giant ape and stuff running around. Like you know it's not like when people start trying to like mirror like actual like life forms like humans and then try to make them an animated character, it's weird to see. It's not very, for me, it's not drawing. It's not going to pull me in or anything like that.
I just like jumping into a match and knowing that, if I want to play as Reinhardt or just a shield guy, I know that, okay, my goal right now is to protect my teammate from absorbing damage, and I'm going to get just as many points for doing that as I would for just running around and killing people as Soldier 76 or
that's
or
it's like almost like Dota and LOL, those type of games where it's like you have to make sure that you're with your team and you're playing your role, you're covering your lane. Yeah,
when you play Dota on League of Legends, you have to.
Speaking of Dota, Wyatt, you are a resident MOBA expert.
Why I play.
Why does someone get in to Dota? How do you get into Dota?
You're building a character.
You have to commit your life. Those type of games, any like very popular like Dota or even RTS games like a StarCraft, you literally gotta play. You're gonna lose every game, and then you gotta crunch through that till you get better to where you are competitive, and that's the grind
though. Like you hate loot games though.
I do.
But that's the grind of that kind of game.
But if you play with friends and you don't care about losing, and of course the culture there,
that's different with PC games though. I would. That's why I really want to build a PC because I'm tired of playing. I have friends that are on consoles. No offense to you, Brogan, because you're not like that. But I have other friends that are very, very passionate about just winning. And winning. And, like, I'm that way, too, but I want to have fun while doing it. Like, this isn't my...
I get really stressed out when I play on a team with only people that just, like, want to win and do super well.
That's
want to have fun.
That's the most amazing thing I loved about StarCraft 2 when it came out. One of my favorite games of all time. You'll play that game, and when you play against somebody who's better at it, beats you, they'll talk to you and be like, oh, man, if you would have just did this is my advice to you, or they'll joke with you. And I think that kind of an environment is because they lose 50% of their games as well. And I think if you're willing to put in the time to get competitive at those games, you will have a lot of fun. But you're going to take a lot of shit until you get there.
You can't play them casually.
Yeah, you can't just get on and play. I've had friends that played it like 2 games and they said they'll never play it again. I was like, man, you got to play a little bit more than that. You got to give it
a chance. No, because like you can't just like hop in. It's not like Call of Duty where anybody could hop in and do at least decently well at it. Like you can't just hop in there and be like, oh, I'm going to be badass and just shoot everybody Rambo style and kill everybody. There's no way.
I mean, you can get flamed at right off the bat, and they're like, everybody's picked their person. You're like, well, I'm going to pick this man. Like, what are you doing? We needed a support. Why'd you pick a hard carry? I'm like, I don't even know what this guy does. Yeah, I just picked him to learn.
Or like he looks cool. Can I just pick him?
The first person I picked was a dragon. I thought I was being smart. I was like, this is a dragon. There's no way he's bad. And they're like, are you serious? Did you just pick him?
Yeah.
You picked the dragon. I was like, I thought he looked cool. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what every time I play a game like that with my buddies, they're like, what are you doing? Like, we tell you the right guy to pick, but I don't like what he looks like.
That just like really stresses me out. Like, but I guess I don't know. But I also vice versely to that. Man, I'm just making up words on the spot tonight. Vice versely to that, like I also want to play a game online that involves strategy and talking, and like I feel like that's gone so by the wayside to just jump in a public match of like Halo or whatever it might be.
Consoles is almost non-existent.
Yeah,
like, that's why I want to. That's the main reason why I want to build a PC, because all my buddies they play Battlefield together, but it's not about winning. Like we'll eventually get to that level where we're just raping and killing a whole bunch of people and just killing in the game and just being well at it, and not just like being like, oh, we just care about winning, but we're gonna have a shitty time while doing it.
Yeah, but it's also fun to build your guys' type of way if you play in it, and then like, oh, you're smart enough to know when you see this strategy on their team to adjust your strategy and make in those changes. That's something you'll never see on console ever.
Unless you're like on an actual team.
Yeah, unless you're on a team. Like, hey, if every Wednesday we're gonna get on, maybe you can get to see that. But or some esports team. But other than that, I don't even when I play Overwatch on my console, which I also have it for console. I don't even put my headphones on. I don't even think about it.
Sneaky Pete.
I want to see it.
Pete.
I want to see it.
Sneaky
Pete. He's seeing it. He's watching it. I want to watch it.
Bryan Cranston, right? That's how you say his name. From Breaking Bad is in it, but he plays a bad guy.
He also writes and directs a lot of it too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't play that, but it's on Amazon. Amazon subscription with Prime or whatever. You can actually watch it through that. So the premise behind it: so Sneaky Pete's in jail. His name and you'll find out more information.
But not so sneaky anymore, Pete.
But he starts out in jail, and then you're like, okay, well, so you start learning more about the character itself and what he's trying to do. So basically, he's known for Sorry, I just said and basically like twice. So the show.
You're fired.
I'm fired. Get the fuck out of here.
The fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. So basically, the show, he's like a hustler, and he like basically he's a pickpocketer too. He can count